what is the catalyst for growing a team, right? And it should be leads. There's really only three things real estate agents can do, in my opinion. Any business can do to grow and profit, and that is lead generation, lead follow up, and lead conversion. Everything else is noise, right? Best service on the planet doesn't matter if you don't have lead generation, lead follow up, and lead conversion. So I love that you're talking about that. Now, that said, very briefly, we're seeing an explosion in what you mentioned super teams. Last statistic I heard was that the year before last, 38 teams broke the 1,000 transaction mark, which is insane. 600. What's that?
And I have several of them with me.
Right, you do. You're absolutely correct on that. In fact, I coach several of them. And so that said, you've got also over 600 teams that, 68 teams. Sorry, I got my numbers wrong. You have over 68 teams in the industry now that have broken the 600 transaction mark. And so the days, back in the day, what we were doing was by far the largest production in the country. But guess what? That's minuscule compared to what's happening now. And I think you're right about technology and its role in it. And that brings me to two things. First of all, do you see the proliferance still? Do you believe that we're going to see a proliferation of mega, and mega is probably too small, but these massive teams doing over 1,000 transactions a year? That's just short answer to that one.
I mean, I always look for directionally accurate behavior. That's what's been happening. Mm-hmm. So I don't see anything that would say otherwise. Again, I think there's always a sweet spot for every business, right? There's all, and one of the things that you and I both learned was more is not better, right? Expansion for the sake of expansion is not better. And real estate is a very straightforward business. There is X geography with X units and X people. And there's the law of diminishing returns as well. So let's just go old school direct to consumer marketing. If you look around the country, depending on the size of the total neighborhood or market, there's very few people that get to double digit market capture in a zip code in a subdivision in a town. But what I do know is there's a ceiling of capture rate, depending on how many practitioners and how much competition. And at a certain point, if you spend $1 and make $3 back, you hit diminishing returns where you spend $3 and you get $3 back. So there is a limitation to the size of a business, unless you live in a massive MSA, right? Like in San Diego, out of the top 10, we probably have 6 of them. They each do 500-600 units. But there is a ceiling just based on total available transactions in a given market. So just a reminder, 2024 will be about 3.8 million transactions of resale and 700,000 new construction sites. That's the lowest since 1995. So, if you're struggling this year, also realize that it's the worst year we've had since 1995, worse than 08, 9, and 10, and 11.
Yep.
So to say people are going to keep growing, unless they hop to another town. And by the way, I don't suggest that for most people, right? Mm-hmm. Our number one agent in the world in 2022, 2023 is Avery Carl. She's got a very hyper niched business where she sells short-term rentals. I think she's in 20 markets, but she's got a national, amazing top of the funnel business from podcasting and books. And she's an expert in a niche. And so she's got inbound lead all over the place. And serves the Smokies, the Rockies, the Gatlinburg, like all the vacation areas. So same business model, same funnel, multiple markets is very different than, hey, I'm going to be the local expert, and then I'm going to jump to another county or another state and become the local expert. That's harder to replicate and translate. So to say, long-winded answer for, hey, is it going to grow forever? Well, there's capacity and maximum, we are limited per country. Like if we're at 4.2% of every licensed agent in America. We have examples where I can go to 10 or 12 or 15%. No one's gone past 12, 13%. So I can still triple or quadruple in the US. And then I can go to Canada and go to Canada. There's 28,000 agents at Royal LePage. There's 22,000 agents at Remax. There's 12,000 agents at Central Toronto. We're at 8,000. I'm just getting warmed up in Canada. And then I hop over to the UK and France and the 24 other countries I'm in. I'm going to continue to take market share and continue to expand. So that's how I'm expanding as a company without hitting limitations. But again, on the team side is, what's your business model? Is it sustainable and profitable? Is there another market that has a similar kind of sweet spot to your offering? And does it make sense? Because the amount of agents that say, hey, I'm going to open an expansion team. I'm like, why? Go double or triple your business before you even bring this subject up to me. Unless maybe you have a Zillow Flex account and you're really, really good at that and they want to take you to another market and they're going to give you high quality converting leads. That's a different conversation than, hey, I'm just going to go replicate myself all over the place.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. I agree. And I love that you're talking about, it's so rare to see teams or agents control a double-digit market share in a particular MSA. The reality is, most are going to cap out at 8, maybe 9%. And the really, really good ones in smaller markets, oftentimes you'll see 12, maximum you'll see is 15%. I think when somebody starts hitting that 8% threshold, I think it's time to look at, okay, how much more can I grow in my local market? And do I need to expand if I want to continue to grow? And can I do that profitably?
Yeah, no, again, at scale, I've seen the smaller the market, the bigger the market share. Like I have an agent in Texas that has a 31% market share in a lake community, second home market. But like at 31%, we're talking about how do you expand ancillary services? Because you're not going to get to 40, right?
That's right.
But if you're in BC, like no one's at 1%, like literally no one's at 1%, or San Diego or LA County or Miami, right? Where you could have multiple teams doing 200 million and everyone's fighting for like 0.8, right? Yep. 1.2. So it's very specific to the market that you're in.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.